target. Enemy spotted us. Another tank down.
The main thing that I like about this tank, and keep in mind, I didn't like this tank when I initially rolled out into it, because I think since the beginning of this year, I've kind of anticipated the introduction of the wheeled vehicles, the EBR, etc., etc. So I've been playing a lot of light tanks, and yeah, this is about to happen. It's about to happen. And there we go. It's like one of the drawbacks of this tank. One of the severe drawbacks is that, you know, it's tiny, it's small, very light, and very, very fragile. But the main thing that's kind of grown on me with the GSOR is the fact that it isn't that great. It isn't that fantastic. It does have some fantastic characteristics. It's small, tiny, therefore it has really great camo values, and you can 100% use that to your advantage. But apart from that, everything else is really nothing special, and because of that, you really need to make the tank work if you want to be successful. With a lot of other tanks, there's usually some sort of OP feature when it comes to the tank, especially like with light tanks, that makes it stand out from the crowd, makes it much better than everything else, and not just in its own category, but it kind of makes it better in certain situations, in a lot of situations. Then a TD, then a median, then a this, then a that. Of course, I forgot to mention speed as well. You do have speed, but the gun is just mediocre. The pen is mediocre. The alpha is just blah. And yes, I agree to a certain extent that sure, why not give it like a 1 second reload buff. Would that push it into the realm of OP light tanks? I don't know, but playing in this thing and trying to make it work, trying to get a decent game was quite hard, was quite difficult, because the gun wasn't that great. You know, your alpha, your DPM just isn't that great, and to make that work was tough to make it work 100%. And but I kept on kind of coming to the same conclusion as I was playing this tank more and more, and the conclusion was that this is possibly maybe how light tanks should be. This is possibly maybe how all the other light tanks shouldn't be, basically. You know, your T54 lightweight, your RU, your 1390 at this tier, which would wipe the floor clean, wreck this tank, just destroy it. You know, those tanks have so much stuff going for it compared to this tank, and perhaps the problem isn't this tank and its DPM. Perhaps the problem is that all the other tanks are just way too overpowered. Perhaps all the other tanks aren't really light tanks. They're just like super little baby tanks that are just too good to be true, basically, and mess with the game's meta too much, you know, because after all, at the end of the day, it is World of Tanks. and the same thing keeps on popping into my mind is Rocket League, Rocket League, Rocket League, Rocket League. And I know Rocket League isn't. It's you push a ball around or something. I don't know, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. Is, you know, is this just, are the light tanks just like, you know, is it just Rocket League with a tank skin on it? You know, is this just Wipeout, the game on the original PlayStation? You know, where are we going? What are we doing here? Because if we have the EBR or the EBRs, the wheel tanks coming soon, and depending on how they're released, that's really going to mess with the game 100%. And this is kind of like this tank line is sort of kind of like an anti EBR line. This tank line kind of demonstrates how possibly maybe light tanks should be, and how should they be? They should be support vehicles. They shouldn't be dominating. They shouldn't be ruling. They shouldn't be. There should be effort needs to be put into them in order for you to get something decent, and in order to play them, you have to sweat basically, and to try and get something decent out of them, because they're just light tanks. They're not there to wreck, wreak havoc, destroy, annihilate with their speed, with their DPM. You know, that's not what a light tank should be doing out on the battlefield in this game, in my personal opinion. So therefore, I enjoyed playing in the GSOR, and I think it's a pretty decent machine at tier 9 compared to the others. And you know, that's the drawback here. When you compare it to the others, it sucks, but on its own, it's a pretty decent, well balanced little light tank. So enough talking smack, enough talking philosophy, enough with the extravagant bullcrap theories. Enough of all of that. Well, yeah, and please ignore the fact that we're on Sand River, and again, I think this is like the third time we're on Sand River in this tank. For some reason, I just kept on getting Sand River, and please ignore the fact that this guy's trolling me and I'm trolling him and all of that jazz. This game is a pretty good demonstration of what the tank can and cannot do, and one of the first things, you know, you shouldn't really expose your tank to the elements. Otherwise, you're going to lose a bunch of hit points, because that's about to happen. Basically, I'm going to expose my tank to the elements, and I'm going to lose 50% of my hit points. This gentleman, he is a light tank, so I thought, you know, risk versus reward. One of the first things I think of when I'm in a light tank is, you know, what light tanks are on the opposing team, and how can I kill them as quickly as possible, because that basically gives me such a huge advantage if I'm the only remaining light tank, or if there's no light tanks on the opposing team. Camo values, as you can see, pretty decent. You know, I'm kind of, people can see me. They should be able to see me, but my camo my camo values just say no, basically. So we're peeking over this ridge line. The gun is behaving on this SDR. As you can see, we've managed to pen him twice. We're going to try a third time. Possibly maybe he might have moved. Possibly maybe I'm not aiming at the right spot. But the shell does, yeah, it just goes whoop to the right and lands in friggin' Himmelsdorf or something. So we're doing okay so far. We've picked up a bit of assist. We've picked up a bit of damage. As you can see, I'm fully comfortable in aiming my shots when I hit the ridge line, and I lose my sixth sense, and and I know as soon as I fire my gun I need to pull back, because then I'll be lit up. Most probably the guys next to me, as soon as they pull up to the ridge line, they're automatically lit up. So camo is pretty decent on this thing. So absolutely 100%. We take the shots. As you can see, the gun, it's not made for sniping. 100%. It's just not made for with that in mind. Yeah, that was pretty decent, not bad. We almost connected, so yeah, we prefer when they're stationary, absolutely, and it's a nice soft lightly armored tank, absolutely 100%. Again, we're pulling up here, and we're not getting lit up here. That's the only thing that can really see us is this M48 pattern. He doesn't have eyes on us as we're taking shots, so that's kind of like my camo versus his vision, etc, etc. And we're going to get the kill shot here. He exposes his side way too much, and we do get the kill 100%. So pretty decent performance so far. We're just waiting for the moment. This is encounter. You can see 50% of the map. We have 50% of the map. They have. Everybody knows where everybody is. I don't need to be running around like a headless chicken, etc, etc. It's just all about when is the moment when I can strike, when I can pounce. And I see my first opportunity is the Valor. Oh, I'm sorry, the Valor. It's spelled correctly, Valor. And he knows I'm coming, but he misses the shot. Yeah, he does miss the shot. I get a nice side shot into him, which is GG. I took out a tier 10, and it's the Valor, and we make a beat towards the T110E5. He's on nice amount of hit points, so I want to get in on that as soon as possible, as quick as possible, and we get that beautiful shot as we're jumping into the air. And right now the name of the game is just wherever his gun is pointed, I need to be on the opposite end, you know. And are we going to get the kill shot? I don't think we do. Equalizer kind of dropping bombs there. Very nice. Now we're in the stage of doing what light tanks should be doing, and we're just looking for opportunities to pounce on people. We're using our camo to our advantage 100%. And we kind of got the edge. I was thinking to myself, the Reds seemed a little bit campy, I was saying, because of their performance. I don't know, I had the sense, that was my sense, basically. And as we pull up here, we're going to get a beautiful early Christmas present, which is the tier 8, the Shashka. The Shashka is going to appear on our right. And we're going to have a good little demonstration of the DPM of this thing, because we have him all to ourselves, well, apart from artillery, and it's just going to take forever and a day to kill him. And yeah, you honour me with your hit points. Thank you so much, 100%. But this is taking forever, and Artie is in play, so Artie can get me. And yeah, if I was Artie, I'd be looking at me right now, you know, on the Reds, and it's just that just took forever. And that's a pretty neat little demonstration of the DPM, the reload on this thing, which is abysmal. But like I said, it is what it is. You have to work with it, and that's that. So you have to make it work. And Mr. Light Tank there, hello, goodbye. And yeah, we kind of yeah, you're gonna see it. Yeah, I knew that shot wouldn't pen, but I'm gonna do the light tank thing. Get behind him, get behind him, get behind him. Luckily, another medium is gonna pull in here, and he's gonna push me into the right direction. Thank you very much, sir. That helped me out a great deal. And this is the other thing that light tanks do, which is distracted players. They can only shoot one tank at a time. I'm going to take advantage of that. And my nemesis from the previous vid is coming up. A hard case, a hard case, a hard case. I was saying to myself, yeah, I need premium, but even with premium, but anyway, I'm dead. So. Almost 4k damage, 1.5 assist, very nice, 5 kills. Really good demonstration of what this tank can and can't do, which is it can't really snipe. You got speed, you use your camo, do what light tanks do. It's not the greatest tank, but it's a GG tank nonetheless. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Onwards and upwards to the Manticore, which is, what's a Manticore? It's a lion's body, bat wings, and a human face. I googled it. What the F? Take it easy, guys. Adios, muchachos.